Hey friends, Leigh Brown here. Welcome back to My Kitchen, My Rules. And this evening we're gonna make a fairly easy supper. And you can tell I need easy because I'm wearing my Carolina pajama pants because that's the mood I'm in. And so because we need easy pajama pant food, we're gonna put our oven at 375. Okay, 350 people, break out of your shell. 375 tonight. And since we're making an easy supper, we're gonna drink a beer while we cook this evening. I got a growler tonight from 26 Acres Brewing, which is down behind the Concord Airport. They're real good. It looks like you're in an office park, because you are. And because I'm sad that we haven't had any real races this year since like March, I'm gonna remember the craft beer half marathon, which I had to run virtually, which ain't the same thing, people, ain't the same thing. And we're having the unicorn beer tonight. My mama's gonna fall out when she tries this one because it's so ridiculously good. And I probably wouldn't have tried it except for the waitress said, oh, try it. And so I said, all right, because I'm an easy sale. I think most salespeople are. And my other glass is the Running Scared 5 miler. And they haven't canceled it yet, but I imagine they're going to. So I'm just gonna have a beer in memory of all the live races and a cheers to all the runners who desperately wish you did not have to run by yourself on your old sad, tired loops anymore because you miss running with strangers when it's more fun. So. It's foamy. I didn't pour it right, but daggone, that's good. Mama, you want your beer? Here it is. You could use my craft beer half marathon glass. Mama doesn't run half marathons, but she probably would if she was in the mood, but she likes to chit chat while she walks her 5Ks. So what we're having tonight is we're gonna have some smothered avocado chicken. And so I've got some boneless, skinless chicken thighs. And y'all know we do the thighs because they're dark meat, and dark meat is better than white meat. And don't at me on that because you're wrong if you think that white meat is better than dark meat. I mean, seriously, it's just not even remotely close. This is where all the flavor's at and the moisture's at. And I did not feel like filleting my own fish, frankly, because look, it's pajama pant evening. So I went to the Harris Teeter, got me some boneless, skinless thighs, and here we go. So we're just gonna lay them in our 9 to 13. Which, as you know, is the official cookware of the Baptist Church. And we are gonna lay them out in here. I think I've got just about the right amount. And then we're gonna season it with just a little bit of salt and pepper while we fix the topping. And topping is super easy. And this is fairly healthy, and I think you can make it gluten-free for those of y'all that like to be hip and cool like that. You probably also do CrossFit if you're gluten-free, because I think it's a rule. And you probably do fancy things like that. I'm not that fancy, let's just be honest. Okay, so there's our chicken, and let me get the raw chicken off my hands. I'll have to go back and clean these containers. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of pepper on the top till I can look at it. Not a heck ton, just a wee bit. And I understand that's table salt. We do not want table salt. Y'all know, right? We have to have kosher salt because you can look at it. That's probably the main reason I like it. Let's get the kosher salt down. Thank you, Morton's, for making good kosher salt. All right, let's just put a little smattering on the top, give our chicken a little bit of flavor. This recipe is nice because you don't have to marinate anything. You're really just gonna straight up cook it. It's easy. All right, so now while that's getting prepared there, we're gonna get our sauce put together. So let's just scooch it out of the way here until we're ready to smother it. All right, so we need to get some of these little nice cherry tomatoes, and we're just gonna quarter them. So you don't have to do any fine dice. And there goes the cuckoo clock, and y'all can sing along with it. Let's see if we got 𝙁𝙁𝘼𝙏𝙁. No, it's that other German song, I don't know. The other song be 𝙁𝙁𝑼𝑑, but we should be done cooking by then because this only cooks for about 30 minutes. And so we will be done eating by the time the cuckoo clock rings again. Whoop, whoop. All right, so I'm just doing a rough cut of my little cherry tomatoes here, which are still in season. We don't have to get hothouse quite yet, but we're about to the end. And I got to look in my burpee catalog and see what I'm gonna plant in my garden for the fall. I've never planted my own Brussels sprouts, but I saw on the burpee catalog site that was a thing in North Carolina. I don't know, y'all. I've lived here my whole life except for when I lived in other places, and I never have grown Brussels sprouts. Nobody in my farm family ever grew Brussels sprouts. So I reckon if I tried, I'll be breaking new ground, and that's all right. You got to do that sometimes in life. Take a little bit of a risk, see if it works out. All right, so I needed about a 1/4 cup or so, so I imagine that looks like more than a 1/4 cup, because y'all know I don't like to measure. So let's just throw that in our mixing bowl here. Shazam. And then we need about a half of a red onion. And if you don't know anything about onions, you should know that red onions will stain everything they touch, which is another reason I probably should have put an apron on this evening, and I failed to do so. So here we go. We're just gonna have to hope we don't mess up my pajama pants here. But you know what, I'd be sad if they got messed up. My friend Kim found these on clearance at TJ Maxx or Marshall's or somewhere for $4. And she tried to give them to my son, but he didn't get a chance to have them because he was smaller at the time. And so I just absconded with them. And so because they were cheap and a gift, I kept them, and they're comfy. And I've worn them a lot during the Zoom era. A lot of y'all don't know that if you've been watching me teach classes and have meetings that I might have been wearing these Tar Heel pajama pants the whole time. So I'm just doing a rough dice of the red onion too. You don't have to do a fine dice unless you just want to. I mean, it's your kitchen, do what you want to do. I do not know how to do a good fine dice, so I don't. Frankly, I just don't. And we'll save that back and use that another time. This is how I like to chop. Just take your knife and just cut until things stop getting cut. I know that's a technical thing, and that might be why nobody has sent me an offer to be on the Food Network yet, because I chop like that. Gordon Ramsay ever sees my kitchen, my rules, he's gonna cry. But it's all right because he likes making people cry. If I made him cry, I'd probably be doing something for humanity. So there we go. We got like a, I don't know, it's a half a cup-ish of nice red onion. And Shazam, that's in. Let's put these little ends of onion. That was your unexpected commercial break. Thank you to Leigh Brown for getting to put her phone in airplane mode, and so it rang, and then I got stuck having to start my video camera back over. But y'all didn't really miss anything. I was just, you know, getting rid of my onion bits. We're having 2 avocados now, and if you didn't know the secret to cutting avocado, I might should have told you before I cut it, but well, you just were looking, I guess. Let me get a spoon, because that's how you get the avocado meat out of the rind effectively. Your avocado is supposed to look like that. If you buy one that's all brown and sad looking on the inside, you ought to carry that back to the grocery store and say, give me a better avocado. Or frankly, you should pick better ones to start with. All right, so take your spoon and kind of jimmy it around the edge like that. And look, the meat's just gonna come right directly out. And then you can make your little slices for your salad or whatever. Look, Shazam. See, we didn't waste not nary a bit. And you can't eat that pit in the middle. So see, let's try that one more again. Put your spoon around the edge. See, look at there, ain't that fancy? We'll get all the meat out of that avocado. Ah, it's good. Avocado is the healthy, saturated fats, unsaturated, I don't know, it's the good kind, whatever. But when I give blood this week at the One Blood, my cholesterol's down since the last time I gave, so coronavirus has been good for my cholesterol. That was exciting to find out. I did not have the COVID antibodies though, so I was kind of surprised. All right, so when you're cutting your avocado, go all the way up and down. So we went this ways, and then just give it a little twist. Ta-da! That's how easy it is. So if y'all aren't used to cooking with fresh avocado, don't be scared. It's easy. All you need is a knife and a spoon. And if you don't have that in your kitchen, you don't have any business watching My Kitchen, My Rules, frankly, because if you don't even have utensils with which to eat, then you are a problem child. All right, so we got the meat out of that one. And if you want to add a 3rd avocado, you certainly could. Some of y'all are big avocado fans. They're in perfect season right now. But I will tell you, pay attention at the grocery store, because right now we have good avocados from California, but they done snuck up in there from Mexico. I don't buy Mexican avocados. I don't buy produce that is from other countries, because frankly, that's when they have to get it so green that by the time it ripens up enough for you to eat it, it don't have nary bit of flavor in it. And plus, you're gonna have it getting brought across the country, spend a lot of fuel, oil, and stuff. And look, I'm a Republican saying these things, but it's just common sense, okay? So dump all your avocado in your bowl with your tomatoes and onions. Y'all, that already looks amazing. I'm gonna put a 3rd avocado in because I can. And because I bought 3 of them because they were so pretty this week. And we'll just, don't take us but 2 shakes of a lamb's tail to fix that. Cut, twist, pop, 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 pop. There we go. All right, so then the next thing we're gonna add in after we get this thing out of here is we're gonna need a little bit of salt. And we're gonna make a sauce for our, well, that one didn't come out as pretty because I was talking too much, I reckon, while I was trying to scoop it out. Got that one out. And then we need to add in just a little bit of kosher salt. Now, if you like cilantro, that's a wonderful thing to add to this recipe, but I have discovered that I have a teenager in my house that has valiantly tried everything his mother has fixed, but does not care for cilantro, so we're just gonna leave it out. And we'll just do that in homage to my aunt, because she does not care for cilantro either. And she's a big old eater. She likes to eat, but she don't care for cilantro. I don't understand why either. Okay, because I think it's delightful. All right, there we go. I'm gonna have to rinse my hands because that's just a mess. But I wonder if avocado is as good for your hands as palm olive is. Y'all remember those old ads? Palm olive, Southeast hands while you do dishes. I would think that with the amount of grease and fat that's touched in that natural avocado, it might do the same thing. All right, so let's put a little bit of salt in here. Maybe well, that's way too much. We're gonna cut that. Maybe a half a teaspoon or so. And now that's just gonna have to clean my sink. Actually, I'll scrub it around, it'll clean real good. All right, so now that we've got that in there, we're just gonna mash it up. Let me get a fork to mash it. I obviously didn't plan. Today is not my planning day. So, look how pretty that is. See? You can just eat that as it stands right now, especially that red onion. So we got the red onion, a little bit of salt, tomatoes, a little bit of avocado. And the amount that you want to stir it depends on how chunky you like your avocado. And so my family doesn't like it super mushy. So we'll be kind of a medium grind up in here. And just make it pretty. All right, look. See, I'm telling you, there's nothing really crazy about this. And y'all just don't understand. You can make your own food at home so easy and so cheap. And so fun. Isn't it fun to cook at home? I think you should think it's fun. So we got our big casserole dish. We're just gonna dump the avocado mixture right up on the top of our chicken and just spread it around. That's it. It kind of smells like a good guacamole, minus some of the other guacamole ingredients, but you know, the primary one being the avocado. Although if you're making avocado, I mean, guacamole doesn't have avocado in it, something is really wrong in your life. Okay, so my mother just said yes over at the table because she likes a good guacamole. She's gonna be happy here in a minute because it's a good supper. All right, there we go. Now, look, ain't that pretty? Next thing we're gonna do is put some shredded cheese on the top. I shredded some pepper jack. You could use regular Monterey Jack. You could probably use mozzarella, but then you're gonna be kind of at odds with the flavor of the avocado, the onion, and the tomatoes. And I recommend putting in as much cheese as your body needs, because frankly, y'all, you need cheese for dairy because the dairy helps with your bone density. And once you are medium like me and you have to wear bifocal contact lenses, you've got to be worried about your bone density. So, look, there's our 375 right on time. We're going to top this with some tin foil, and we're going to bake it till the chicken's done, which will be in the neighborhood of 40 minutes. And you definitely want to make sure your chicken doesn't have any pink in the middle, friends. If you are new to the cooking show and the cooking world, hey, don't undercook your chicken. That's a fast way to losing 5 pounds the hard way. All right, let me get some tin foil out. And we're going to throw that in the oven. Oh, by the way, the second cheese I put on top was the Mexican blend, and the only reason I doubled up is because I had a little bit left over. So I was using it up, frankly, because that's what we do around here. We don't waste. All right, let's throw this in the oven. Dun, dun, dun. All right, now I'll see y'all in 2 seconds, and we'll fix the sauce that goes on this when it comes out. Okay, so while your chicken's in the oven, you have plenty of time to make the sauce, and this is easy. So get you some sriracha, which you know is the good stuff. And did you know this is like family owned? He makes a fortune on it. I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons-ish of that. If you don't like spicy, then you probably shouldn't be using sriracha, let's be honest. I like the sauce on the side for people that don't need a lot of spice in their life. So I've got like a 1.5 tablespoons worth in there, about a tablespoon's worth of rice vinegar. That looks ish about right. And then we need some sesame oil. So get you some sesame oil, about a tablespoon of that. I get the lid to open. And that looks about right. And now I need more sriracha because I can tell I need one more little scooch of that. It's all about the texture. Then you need some honey, and of course I'm still working on this jar of Manuka honey that came from the Costco. So let's put 2 tablespoons of honey in here. And of course, you know, honey's better for you the closer it is to you, except for this Manuka, which is special. I heard you can put it on your face for skincare. Does this get rid of the facial breakout I am experiencing from these stupid masks? I don't know about y'all, but this mask is making me break out. I hate these things. And I'm still waiting on the one study that'll show me they do a daggum thing, but whatever. I do love honey. See, I'm gonna whisk it up while I lick the honey off my hands because I hate for it to go to waste. That would have been a dreadful moment if I'd had sriracha on my hands, let's just be honest. Oh, that smells good. And so just whisk it until you have a very nice consistency. And then when your chicken comes out, you can allow your guest to spice it up or don't spice it up as they so wish. Now, if you don't feel like making your own sauce, you can buy that sweet chili sauce at the grocery store, which is the stuff I reckon y'all can dip your egg rolls in or what have you. But we can make our own, just that easy. And I'll see y'all in a second when the chicken's done. It's gonna be good. And this is what you got at the end of all that hard work. See how beautiful that is? It's fit for company. So try it out, leave your picture in the comments, subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time on My Kitchen, My Rules.